During this half an hour, and that is the war on terror. The Taliban taking responsibility for the deaths of 4 Americans killed in a bomb attack yesterday in Afghanistan. Joining me right now is Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired 4-star General Jack Keane. General, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Maria.
Your reaction to what took place yesterday, is this a window into the fact to remind us that things have hardly slowed down and we just are now seeing 4 Americans lose their lives?
Well, Maria, thank you for not just reporting on this, but wanting to talk about it, because we cannot let our viewers forget what this sacrifice is all about. I mean, the loss of these soldiers is absolutely no different than the loss of Sergeant First Class Chapman, who was the first soldier we lost in January of 2000. And remember, the reason we're in Afghanistan is because the Al-Qaeda attacked us from Afghanistan, and we want to prevent the Taliban from providing that kind of safe haven again. The last time we were attacked before that was World War II. All the wars that we fought between World War II and Afghanistan were about helping other people. Afghanistan has always been about protecting the American people. And the sacrifice of these soldiers and what they were willing to risk and what they were willing to give up is no less than what took place in Normandy and D-Day, or with our soldiers or our Marines in Iwo Jima. So thank you for representing this sacrifice today and what it means to their families. And yes, we have got more work to do in Afghanistan. I appreciate this administration coming in and saying we're going to stay there. They're working in negotiation. Hopefully we can get something done.
Yeah.
I'm very skeptical about it, but we've got to stay there to prevent a safe haven that the radical Islamists can put together to hurt Americans again.
Right, and it's not just the radicals in Afghanistan, but staying there to keep the pressure on Iran. The president has stepped up the pressure against Iran. The U.S. is officially labeling Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps a terrorist organization. A lot of people have wanted him to say this for a long time. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo talked about this historic step to keep Americans safe.
For 40 years, the Islamic Republic's Revolutionary Guard Corps has actively engaged in terrorism and created, supported, and directed other terrorist groups. The IRGC masquerades as a legitimate military organization, but none of us should be fooled.
I mean, this is the group that was chanting death to America just as President Obama was signing the deal with Iran before he sent over all that money in paper bags to Iran so that we could be part of the Iran deal.
Yeah, there's going to be people out there wring their hands and say, oh, what are we doing here? We should not be declaring an organization that's part of a nation state because it's part of their military as a foreign terrorist organization. And I say that is absolute rubbish. What is wrong with us? I've been waiting for this decision for years. Here's what they've done. The IRGC, with the Quds Force, sponsored terrorism, not only around the world, but sponsored terrorism that killed Americans, blew up our Marine barracks in the early 80s in Lebanon, our U.S. Embassy in Lebanon, the U.S. Embassy Annex after we moved there, the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia. They conducted a 10-year campaign of taking hostages and kidnapping Americans, business people and government officials and European officials. It led to the death of a CIA station chief by the name of Buckley, and almost to the ruin of an administration, because the Reagan administration was trading weapons for hostages dealing with the Iranians, and a campaign for 4 years in Iraq where they trained the Iraqi Shia militia in training bases in Iran, trained by Hezbollah, their proxies, a terrorist organization, to kill Americans on a systematic basis. They have been killing Americans for years, and previous administrations should have done exactly what this administration has finally taken the step to do, so we can begin to shut these guys down.
Let me ask you about Europe, because we're talking about regulating technology. European lawmakers want to force social media giants to remove terrorist content from their platforms. They want to impose a deadline of 1 hour to delete troubling material. It's amazing that these companies haven't done this on their own. Now we're talking about potential legislation to get them to act.
Well, I say amen, amen to this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just so much needed. When you think of this, Maria, the ISIS organization moved into Syria with several hundred Iraqi fighters. That's all they were in 2012. In 18 months, they recruited 30,000 people. Where did they do that? They did that on the internet with sophisticated cinematography, unbelievable messages.
Yeah.
That recruited that many people. Then we all got exposed to their barbarism on the internet, and that recruiting still continues to this day.
Yeah. Finally,
we have governments that are willing to take a step and shut this down.
Yeah.
Because you've got to recognize what modern terrorism is about. It is about the internet.
Yeah, and not only that, but you've got these things that are on these platforms that anybody can see. Look, that's Europe. Facebook and Google executives are going to be on Capitol Hill today. They will testify about the company's policies and white nationalism as well. There's so much to talk about here, not just this content online, as you just referred to, and as we were just talking about, but they're, censoring conservative conversation. You've got the white nationalism content that they're saying that they're taking down. What do you think comes out of this, General? Do you think you're going to see the kind of regulation here in America that you do see in Europe? Because it's much stricter in Europe as it relates to these companies.
Well, I think we'll always be a little bit more open in terms of our democracy than Europeans are, because that's the nature of American democracy. We have a flourishing democracy with individual liberties that no other country in the world has. So I think that's where we'll be. But I also think that when we have messages and ideology on the internet that is actually so harmful and so detrimental to the freedoms that we enjoy, that something needs to be done about that.
Yeah, for sure. General, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Good talking to you, Maria.